Hello everybody, GeGe from GeGe Movement here and welcome back to my channel. We've got today a 10-minute core workout. All you're going to need is yourself and your mat. And we have 10 exercises. They will be for 45 seconds each with a 15-second rest between each one. We're targeting the entire core, that means the back is included in that. So lying on your right side first, you're going to stack the knees slightly in front of you with the feet in line with the bum. We're coming into some hip lift clamshells. So resting on your elbow, you're going to lift the hips and open the knees at the same time. Keep the feet together. Now making sure that you're pulling the navel towards the spine, that you're finding space along both sides of the body. We're very much targeting the obliques here, and you'll particularly feel this in your bottom oblique, so that'll be your right one. Squeezing the bum every single time you go up as well and open those hips, and being careful not to back bend here. It's very easy to do in this exercise. Creating space between the shoulders and the ears, make sure the neck isn't just hanging. And that's it, you got your 15-second rest. We're next going to be moving into rainbow hip lift. So you're going to be resting on your right hand. You're going to stack the left foot over the top of the right one. You're going to press into the sole of that foot. You're going to lift the hips and reach the left arm all the way up and over. And as you can see, that's where the name comes from. You're creating a rainbow with your body. So really think about creating that arch, lifting your hips high enough so that you get that curve from the foot all the way to the fingertips of the hand. That's reaching up and over. There's a couple of modifications for this. You can bring that right knee down to give you a little bit more stability, and you can also do this exercise resting on the elbow rather than the hand if the wrist is feeling a little sensitive. Really lifting that body up, but making sure that your chest doesn't turn up towards the ceiling. So you want the rib cage to reach towards the sky, but you don't want the chest to turn towards the sky. Great job here. Okay, from here we're going to your ballerina side plank twist. So stacking the feet either one on top of the other, or again you can do one foot cross over the other as we did in the last exercise. You're going to be on your right elbow, lift the hips up into a side plank. You're going to reach the right arm, or rather the left arm, all the way to the sky, and then twist it underneath your body. And there's a little turn of the hips every time that you twist under, just to really get that crunch in the oblique. And then your body corrects itself to come all the way back up into that side plank, making sure not to overextend when that left arm goes up to the sky, keeping it directly above the shoulder. You want to be keeping the hips nice and lifted throughout this. I know it's starting to get challenging and those obliques are really starting to burn. And again, there's always the option, as with the last exercise, to bring that bottom right knee down as well to modify. Great job, that's your obliques done on this side. We just need to redo all of those exercises on the other side from the clamshell hip lifts. Brilliant job. So coming this time onto your left elbow, opening up the hip, opening the knee at the same time. And all of the same cues apply. So again, you pull the navel towards the spine, you tuck the pelvis. The knees come together, but with control. So we're trying not to slam down every time we come down to the ground. As you can see, I'm moving pretty slowly, but consistently here. So smooth opening and smooth closing. And as with the other exercises, if you want to level up a little bit, just never bring those hips fully down to the ground. Always keeping it at a slight hover. If it starts to burn too much and you need to take a little break, that's okay. Just take a break and then join back in when you're ready. Now coming into our rainbow hip lift, so you're coming onto that left hand, you're crossing the right leg in front of the left one, option to go into the elbow if you wish. And here we go, reaching all the way up and over, creating that rainbow, and then bring the hips down to a hover. Really exaggerating that curve over the top of the body. And if you're thinking you can't lift your hips any higher, try just a little bit more. Option to always bring that bottom left leg down towards the ground, the knee, to give you a little bit more of a stable kickstand. And very important here, keep smiling and please keep breathing. Great job. We're going to come into our side plank ballerina twist. So you're coming onto the elbow. You can actually also do this on the hand if the hand feels better for you. Everybody's a little different. Whichever it is, whether it's the elbow or whether it's the hand, make sure it's stacked directly underneath your shoulder. So we're twisting under, little turn of those hips, and then reaching back up, finding that straight line again every single time. Again, option to bring the bottom knee down here and making sure that we're not overextending in that top arm when we reach it back up. It's very possible for the arm to open up too far and then that takes you off balance and you end up falling backwards. That's not what we want. We want to find a stable base of support here. Good job. Bringing the hips down. That is your obliques done. I'm sure you're pleased about it. So we're coming all the way down onto our back. So we're going to target the lower abdominals now. So you're going to come into a reverse crunch and then a leg extension. So you're taking the hips up and then you're extending them out and forward. Now you can modify this to whatever level works for you. The lower that you extend those legs, the harder this is going to be. And the most important thing is we want to think about that lower back, that lumbar spine, really attaching to the ground. If you're arching in your lower back, you're going too far down. So just bring the legs up a little bit. It's just something that we can work on over time. Nice slow movement, extend through the knees and through the toes. Beautiful long ballerina legs. Really thinking about tucking navel towards spine and think of having a juicy ripe peach underneath your chin that you don't want to let fall. So from here we're going to take something called, well, I call it a crunchy roll, but you're going to take a little roll back, bring the knees in towards the chest, and then you're going to roll forward into a plank. So rolling back and then step into a plank. I'm going to give you a couple more advanced options here. So you can roll back and you can jump into a plank just like I am. This turns into a more of a cardio move. Also the option to add a push-up if you're really wanting to go for more of a fiery practice here today. So either stepping into a plank, hopping into a plank, or hopping into a push-up. You can take this as high impact or as low impact as you need. And this is a full core workout. And take a rest. Brilliant job. That's one of the more difficult exercises in this video, don't worry. Now coming on to working the core. So you're going to lie on your belly, you're going to be taking the hands by the ears, you're going to lift your chest off the ground and then take a twist to one side, bring back to center and lower the chest. Lift, take it to the other side, lift and lower. So you're alternating which side you twist to every single time. Thinking about keeping the toes on the ground because we want to isolate the work into the back. We're keeping the chest nice and open. You'll notice that my elbows don't drop in, they stay out. Think of the shoulder blades drawing towards one another and the neck staying nice and long. Good job, that's your back exercise done. And I believe this is our last exercise. We're coming into frog pumps here. So you're going to take yourself onto your back, bring the feet together and the knees out into a little froggy position, clasp the hands and you're going to be crunching in this frog position. If this is too difficult on your hips, some people find this really quite uncomfortable, please don't worry, just plant the soles of the feet down and come into a regular crunch. So again, if you want to level this up, never fully put the shoulders down, coming into a real crunch pulse. It's also possible to turn this into a full froggy sit-up, where you sit all the way up, take a frog stretch, and then roll all the way back down. Choose a version that suits you. Good job, you are done. You made it to the end of this little core burnout. Let's have a little stretch. You deserve it. Coming onto your belly, let's take a cobra, stretching up into that back bend, lengthening those abdominal muscles. Should feel really good. And lower down, and again, ripple all the way back up. And down. Good job. Pushing back into a child's pose with the knees nice and open. Reaching the fingertips forward. And then coming onto all fours, hands and knees. Take a little cat-cow, so arching through the spine and then rounding through the spine. Coming to a comfortable seat, we're going to take a couple of side stretches here, reaching all the way up and over, maybe looking up to that top hand, and then take it the other way. And then rounding through the spine as you reach forward and open through the pectorals as you open up the arms. Thank you so much, everybody. You've done such a great job. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.